Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Temple of Hathor. And we are now in the Equinox portal, which is a place where we can step in to a new season, a new timeline. We can create new realities from this place. And it's such a beautiful, auspicious day to be celebrating this high holy day with you. It's either Mabon or Mabon in the northern hemisphere, the fall equinox, or in the southern hemisphere, it's Astara, springtime coming in Australia. So, yeah, we're gonna do a lot tonight. We'll see what wants to come through. This is gonna be a channeled transmission, and I'm Leah Sonaria. If we haven't met yet, I'm super honored to be your guide and priestess tonight to really weave some highly needed energetics into the sphere because it's also International Peace Day today. And yesterday I did this incredible broadcast, which I serendipitously landed this gig to co-host this Global Peace Day event. And I was doing practices that were going far and wide around the world, reaching an audience of 250 million people. It was kind of mind-blowing to think that I was doing leading meditations to bring that many people into coherence. But this is the energetic that I think we all have the power to access and offer to the altar of life. So if you're new to temple space or my work, I am a priestess and we work in ceremonial ritual ways to amplify our intentions. And when we're in container or containment in a temple space, which I have the Hathor temple here behind me, a lot can happen because it's an alchemical space and that's where the most amount of transformation can occur. So if you've been led here, congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. You've made it through many lifetimes, many gateways, and we are now here together to bring peace on earth above everything else. I'm sure we all have other goals in life, but this is really the most powerful prayer that I think every single human being wants to uphold. And unfortunately, it's still not here yet fully, and not all beings are liberated in their highest ways. So it's up to us to really come into our empowerment around what we can do about it. And every little bit counts. And a lot of it has to do with peace within. That was a huge theme with yesterday's transmission, was just how do we start with our own inner peace and our own inner union, which today is a perfect day to tune into because it is a balance of light and dark. This is the equal measure of uh, summer and winter coming together to really be in this state of knowing that balance isn't stagnant. There's always going to be movements and oscillations between the two, and always as we move through the wheel of the year, light and dark are going to continue to pendulate back and forth. But when we come into this state of looking at our own inner dark, our inner light, our inner masculine, our inner feminine, there's always going to be an opportunity to integrate the two polarities and bring them into right relationship with each other, and to also leverage the power and uniqueness and skills that come with each energetic. And that is really the deeper tantric work that this Egyptian lineage is really centered upon, is this unification, this bringing together of different worlds. And the energies that I channel, the Neteru, I'll just say it at the beginning here so that you have some context for what is to come when we go into transmission a little bit later. But the Neteru are forces of creation. They're actually where the word nature comes from. And they are the Egyptian gods, but they're much more than that. They have an archetypal expression that comes in the form of universal laws and what they represent in a higher experience of just the energetics of certain things. And they have my take on it is that they have come together as an ambassador team sent by different star systems, and each one of these star systems has a really different history and experience of consciousness, and all of them somehow, some way can ground into human beings. Like we all have star lineage, and so in some strange way, we can all have this experience of really seeing the other as us, because I don't know what it is about planet Earth, but all these different beings can exist here as well, and in different dimensions, but also within our DNA and our bloodline. So the Neteru, they kind of came in and uh, they all sort of came from different places and they had to figure out how they were going to communicate and get along. So Tehuti, Thoth, the ibis-headed god of basically the programmer of the universe and the carrier of the high-level ancient wisdom keys, ancient future wisdom keys, offered this language code. And this language code is simple, but it's multidimensional in the sense that it has many layers of meaning depending on how it's sequenced. So that's what I channel, and that's also how we can go into a space where we're working in the quantum field and we're opening up a lot of these fields, and they're layered upon each other. And we'll go into a meditation in a moment to experience it. They're layered upon each other, and within each field, there's different ingredients and dynamics and energetics. And if you're into astrology, you're tracking all this stuff every single day. I'm not even going to mention the astrology of today because it is not my forte, but maybe Jordan wants to speak because she's all up in there. I might throw it to you in a moment, so get ready if I do that. Um, but essentially, when we're unifying these energetics within different levels of the field, we can actually create this incredible harmonic that actually will entrain our highest intentions for peace, love, harmony, and end of war on planet Earth. So I truly believe that just by showing up here tonight, you are already doing that. Your soul has already done all of the training to get to that point where you're capable of doing that. And you will benefit personally from the resonance and the inner coherence that you create for yourself. So let's take a breath together because that was a big intro. And just let that integrate and trust that information is also coming in the form of activation. So you might also notice you don't have to think so much. You can just feel it and really embody the teachings. So without further ado, let's officially get started. And I already have a candle going right now, but if you have a candle, you can light it. And the reason I still have my candle going is because I just came from another ceremony taught by my dear teacher, Leola Antara. So I'm 2 hours in already, pre-activated, been going through the practices of purification and really tuning into the frequency of union. And it's a powerful time. So I'm also going to ring my sistrum, which is Hathor's instrument. I'll introduce her in a moment. So this is the sistrum. It is the tool of the Hathors, and it is how we call in the sacred star mothers, the Palladian star mothers, also known as the Hathors. There's 7 of them. And the Palladian star system is very loving. It's very focused on embodiment. It's very focused on, just bringing in this high level frequency of love and joy and creation. And so I'm going to ring her in right now, and then maybe I'll throw it. Let's see. Does Jordan want to mention a couple things about the astrology of the day, like maybe 5 minutes? Are you down for that? Jordan Hayward.
I can do that.
Okay, sweet. Amazing. Okay, so let's call in the Hathors. Heteru, 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 hetura, 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 he karaka, sa. Please cast a field of light around this circle here today so that we may be protected in our ceremony tonight. I'm calling in our benevolent guides, elevated ancestors, the ancestors of these lands, the swimming ones, the standing ones, the 4-leggeds, the 2-leggeds, all the ones who wish to be with us here today to support this prayer, and our highest selves, our angelic guides, and any other spirit support team members that wish to be here present with us. We call you come be with us here in this sacred ceremony as we open the directions and bring in this pillar and portal of light so that we may step through into this next season with so much love and support and grace and all the blessings that are meant to follow us into this next phase of our evolution. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anknetru, anknetru, anknetru. Okay. Let's hear a little bit about the astrology of these times from Jordan. She is the most tapped in astrologer I've ever met. So let's go.
Oh, thank you. I'm super honored to be here right now because today is I actually just like pulled up the chart of the sky right now and we are actually under a Merkaba. So there's actually a six-pointed star configured right now. So that's it's just been a magical day. So today was the closing eclipse of the eclipse cycle, which they come in pairs, right? So we had the Pisces opening eclipse a few weeks ago, at the beginning of September, and then a few weeks later you have your closing eclipse. And so during this period, there's normally something like big that happens. That's, you meet your significant other, or you get married, or, somebody transitions, or a big job. Like something massive normally happens. I've had the most magical weekend. Um, and so see, yeah, I mean, like I pulled it up and there's literally, you can see it on my phone. I was like, wow, that's beautiful. So this one happened at 29 degrees of Virgo, which, fun fact, Leah and I actually, our ascendants are less than a degree apart from each other. We're both Virgo risings. And so this eclipse today happened on that point in our chart that we share. So by the way. But it's the end degree of Virgo. Virgo is being over perfectionist, like highly critical of things. They're the analyst, right? It's the person with the white coat and the clipboard that's like sitting in the corner taking notes. And as a Virgo rising, I absolutely love that position. So to other people that's just like, ooh, that doesn't sound fun. It sounds fun to me. And so those tendencies, we're letting go of the shadow tendencies, but moving into how can we be of service. So, Leah and I met at a festival where I talked about the astrology of the current age. And we're moving through a massive shift at the end and the beginning of the zodiac Pisces into Aries, right around this 1 degree point. And so next February, February 20th, there is quite a significant I would say like the fairy godparents of astrology that like I look to, they have even talked about this is probably the most potent transit of our lifetime. Happens next February, and we're seeing the transition, like the flow, because planets retrograde, right? So there's this dance around 0 degree Aries, and something's going to happen there. Don't, the math words, who cares? But there's a very significant thing. So you're seeing people being called into their leadership. And there's also, I haven't told Leah this, but thank you so much for holding this space because there's also so many partnership things that are coming through. I just like fully decorated my bedroom. This is new wallpaper. Like my bedroom just came online, which obviously is like my partner's space. And other people have been talking about like their partnerships coming in. So you're seeing this reset, this template. And there's also a reset in the union template in what it means to be integrated that's going to come through, not only in the way that people are experiencing partnership, just not romantic partnership, but partnership within their self. There's where we are the ones that, like right now, the universe is picking up this computer game that we're in, is picking up feedback. And so us, the leaders of this transition, and we know it's crazy. My Chinese name that my teacher gave me when I was 18 years old means the first red dawn over the ocean. And so, like, we are the first red dawn. We are that first light. And so, we are bringing the new template. And so, it is so important for us to come into these spaces and code and code and code and code because we are the ones that are encoding for this new game that is coming online. And so, this is the crescendo. This eclipse that happened today was at the very last degree of Virgo. And so, us, the servants of the age, because this is a Virgo space that we're in, right? We've come to do, the priestessing thing. That's a Virgo thing that we're doing. We're being, and we're not here because we're like, oh my gosh, yes, boyfriend time. It's about being of service to the collective. And so that's what Virgo rules. So letting go of those things that keep you from being of service, that over criticism of yourself, that perfectionism, and looking at the highlight, the light side of Virgo, which is how can I be of service? How does it bring me joy to be of service? And so we get to be here in this beautiful space that's been curated for us to be of service, to give the universal computer a new code. So when these big transits happen next year and through, we are in a huge transition point. Like people like really don't understand, like the enormity of the next few years cannot be understated. Like this is like not like, oh, like when, like in a few decades, like no, it's happening right now. And so we are the ones that are submitting the blueprints for how that's all going to happen. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for being in your Virgo service to co-create this space with Leah, who is absolutely amazing. We code traded the other day, and I'm enjoying my singing voice. I have completely new notes online, so I'm so excited to see what happens tonight because I'm doing this space in my new bedroom, and so this is my like bedroom activation. And so thank you so much, all of you, for being here during this transitional period. And yeah, let go of those things that keep you from being of service. Get into your most creative, magical state. How does it fill you up, and how can you pour in to this new environment? Because if we're in an economy of givers, if we're in an economy of Virgo essenced people that are moving from a place of service, there's really nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? So thank you for everything you guys are doing.
Wow, Jordan, thank you so much, sister. That was an incredible transmission, and I just put you on the spot. So good on you for just pulling it through. But that's also a code in and of itself, is that you might just get called into service. You might just get, like, someone might recognize your genius and be like, get on the stage. And that actually happened to me at the festival that we both met at. They were like, you want to close the closing ceremony? Okay, you're not even on the restaurant on the roster. Let's go. So this is also part of the energetic of all the preparations that we've done, and trusting that that was many lifetimes in the making, and we don't have to be so polished in order to show up. There's so much here already that we've just gained from experience and just being alive that you are qualified to serve in whichever way you're meant to. And so the theme of today, and the kind of centering focus point, is divine union. As Jordan mentioned, there's a lot popping off right now, and I believe, and it's probably because it's part of what I've been tuning into, is that the next generation is really pulling all the strings in the higher realms, like these spirit babies that I've been tuning into, because I'm currently just about to launch a program called Quantum Conception, working with Hathorian fertility arts, and how we can call in these high level beings, this next generation, that are coming in with some prerequisites. Like they are waiting for mommy and daddy to get to a certain level of frequency before they can match us and actually ground into this reality. And it's a bit of a joke, but they also think Earth is kind of ghetto. They're looking at this planet and going like, I don't really know if I'm ready to go in, because there's a lot of problems to solve in that lifetime if I land in there. And we're doing our part. And of course, everyone's kind of doing their best and can't feel guilty about making garbage, because everyone does. Like, there's certain things that are just part of how we've set up the system. But at the same time, we are also re-encoding our entire operating system inside and out. And that's why light workers are doing their work, and healers are doing their work, and we're all purifying ourselves to the deepest levels so that we can be a clean slate to receive these brand new operating systems that are coming in with the next generation, and also being born through us as we step further into our own creation power and becoming solutionaries and innovators, and really opening up the field for new ways of thinking about things, really. Because at the end of the day, it's not so much about reinventing the wheel, it's about taking a fresh perspective. I like to call it just the magic perspective, the energy focused perspective, and applying that to something that already is in the field for, certain applications or solutions or things that people are already used to looking at. So I want to kind of offer some things that have been coming through for me, and we're going to introduce Hathor and Horus in a second. But first off, back to the International Peace Day piece. I want to start off with this meditation that came through, and it's a coherence meditation, which came through actually during a plant medicine ceremony. And this gesture is called the coherence sphere. So I invite you to bring your hands together like this, like you're holding a ball, and your fingertips are just touching. You're not pushing too hard, but they're definitely connected. And this is how we get to bring right and left, masculine and feminine, into alignment through our center, and how we also all get to hold this ceremony, this field together. And you can place whatever you want inside of this ball. You can place your intention for the evening, your intention for the season ahead, your prayer for peace, whatever it is that you want, calling in your beloved. This is where we get to create a really, really strongly forged crucible, an alchemical container for true magic and alchemy to happen. And from this place, you can also imagine that it's your heart that is feeding this sphere. So the heart space is really the center of any field. And as we merge the polarities, we come into this inner unification that can then radiate down through the arms and into whatever it is that we're here to amp up. So closing down the eyes, let's take a few deep breaths here. And let's just take about 30 seconds of silence here just to imagine you're holding this world in peace with your highest intentions, with your personal intentions, with your collective intentions, just feeling into the power that you have to entrain the greater field back to love. And let's do 3 more deep breaths together, breathing into the heart space. Exhaling to send it into the ball. Again. One more. Feel free to make a sound. And then just gently bring your hands together in prayer, pressing a little bit harder to feel one leaning on the other, one supporting the other. And gently release, relax the arms, and open the eyes. Thank you so much for doing that. I really felt it. We're in high coherence here, and high coherence spaces are just so magical in how the alignments occur, and just the truths that emerge as we begin to see that the world can operate in this way of real flow consciousness. And that's Ma'at. Ma'at is the governor of all of that. She is about truth and harmony and balance. And I'm a Libra. My birthday's coming up, so it's like this is what I'm here for. So tonight, okay, moving on. I'm a little bit in right now. We're going to bring Hathor and Horus together into the field. Now, these are my little figurines of Hathor and Horus, and they are. There's so much I could say about them. I also have my other version of Hathor and Horus, which is the sunflower and the hydrangea. Because Hathor is blue and Horus is yellow. and we'll do a meditation around that in a little bit. We'll do a little bit of an embodiment practice, but these two are very close to me. I love working with Isis and Osiris as well, and the way I see it is that these divine union hierogamic relationships, they're really they actually existed. Like same with Yeshua and Magdalene, they really existed, and also they achieved this next level sainthood and avatar consciousness and ascended master status that allows their frequency to continue to radiate out into the field as a node on a fractal pattern that keeps wanting to repeat itself. So now we're coming into a new age of divine union where these guides can really be the ones to anchor us into the lineage of divine union, the rose lineage, the priestess path, and not just the priestess, but also the masculine priesthood, the noble class of ones that were tapped into source and conduits and bridges for that intelligence to come through in order to inform society and all the decisions and all of the things that need to happen. So Hathor, she is a cow goddess. She's all about fertility, love, sacred sensuality, and divine union, and the voice, which I'm so happy, Jordan, that your voice is opening up. It's amazing. And she's also about the womb. She's about the creation center. And Horus is the son of Isis and Osiris, and he is the sacred, risen, divine child. He holds the Christ light. He is the falcon that can see from a high vantage point. And he also battles Set that killed his father to avenge his father's death, even though his father did get resurrected by Isis. But there's, this next generation kind of energy that is coming through. And Hathor and Horus are divine union partners. And one of the stories I like is that because Set killed Osiris, and Isis was a little bit worried that, of course, Set would go after Horus as well, she entrusted his care to Hathor. And so Hathor was suckling him with her breast. And it's what happens when you suck on breasts. You fall in love. So they came into divine union, and this energetic that Hathor holds is of mother lover. So she is really about the nurturance of the divine masculine, and it's kind of what's playing out these days is that you might be noticing this in the field, is that if you're feminine and you're definitely tapped into source and your spiritual path, it might be a little harder to find matches on the masculine side if you're straight, but it could happen within any configuration. But this is also part of the initiation for the divine masculine to rise, is to trust in the divine feminine and in that mother lover energy that is going to initiate him into a greater sense of his purpose as a divine warrior, as a protector, as the one that actually battles in order to fight for what's right. And that is a needed quality in the masculine field, because so many are still in their boyhood and not actually taking the actions required to protect what's sacred. And so this is what is being activated right now in the field. And it's very relevant right now because there's also a lot of frustration in the field when it comes to relationships and this new age of situationships, we'll call it, and not committing, or these different configurations and poly principles and open relating, and also sovereignhood, and what does that mean, or sovereignty, so that we can also not be codependent, and all of these different things where we're looking at our own patterns, and we're also looking at our self-worth, and how we're also meant to be open enough to explore certain relationships that are meant to initiate us or heal us or help us see certain blind spots we couldn't see any other way. And then also bypass the hardships that have occurred when people rush into things too much, and then they, have to go through the process of divorce with a bunch of kids, and that's another whole initiation in and of itself. So it's almost like, and if you're single right now, like I'm sure there's some of these things that you're weighing. You're like, how much energy do I put into cultivating these new relationships or dating, and then how much of it do I need to preserve for other things like creating the life of my dreams and exploring my artistic pursuits and my business goals and all of these other things. So this is all kind of coming together. And what I love about this lineage is that it is all about magnetism. At the end of the day, when you merge polarities, you create a magnet. When you allow enough space between the two to breathe, and that's Hathor and Horus's medicine, is that they are one as this beautiful codex of actually Hathor herself. Her name means House of Horus, Het Heru, Het Heru. So Heru is Horus. So her symbol is literally a square with Horus inside. So her role is to be the holding space, the great cosmic womb that will be able to contain the creation of whatever it is and wants to come through that gateway. But without the fortification of Horus to actually be the protector and for you to also guard your own sacredness, whatever you hold sacred, then the flow can't really fully flow. And so we're going to be merging that together, and we're going to do a little sound activation to bring more trust back into the field around the masculine and the feminine. Because at the end of the day, it's those little rifts in trust and those tiny little betrayals over many, many lifetimes that has caused us to be just a little bit on the apprehensive side when it comes to stepping into sacred relating. And so we can maybe just tune in right now around that idea of trusting the other, ways in which you have been betrayed, because this is going to be a transmutation process as well. So ways in which you also didn't trust the other, ways in which, it could be as simple as like, I just didn't trust my ex to lock the door or turn off the stove or something like that. Or it could be something even bigger where there was actual betrayal, where, you caught your ex cheating on you or something like that, or where you have cheated, or because we've been on both sides of this through all of our lifetimes, and probably within your own lifetime too, that you've both been victim and perpetrator. And so when we're closing these karmic loops with the ends of cycles, we're also allowing this integration to occur and to offer forgiveness and to be forgiven for these experiences, and to ho'oponopono your way out of that loop into a spiral that can actually ascend. And so that we can actually start to leverage the power that we're harnessing and pour it into real, true projects and creations and babies and whatever it is that we're here to bring through, and not let the rest of it pull us off center. So let's just take a moment to tune in to what that might be. If there's anything there around the betrayals or ways in which you have betrayed, where you didn't have trust in the other. And I'm going to play my bowls now. So I have a Horus bowl and a Hathor bowl. The Horus bowl is the yellow, the Hathor is the blue. And when I play this, and it's actually a perfect fourth, the perfect fourth is the Here Comes the Bride interval. Here comes the bride. So you can also tune into that energy. But I'm going to ring these bowls now and play them for a little while. And as we come into this, I encourage you to do a little bit of movement, like maybe you can spiral your body or start to oscillate back and forth, and just tune into that pendulation of polarity, of sacred feminine flow matched with sacred masculine structure. And through that gentle process, we'll start to lift some of these deeper layers on a karmic level. Allowing the breath to be that first pendulation, merging the solar your body to inform this practice, that all is welcome here in this temple. We call upon Heteru and Heru to be present with us as we feed each other the great nectar, the great milk, the nourishment of sacred love. Allowing the frequencies to wash through you, to begin to penetrate through every cell in your body, to loosen these knots of betrayal, these knots of distrust. Feeling the activation in your womb or your hara coming alive, refreshing your inner temple. Just taking a few deep breaths here now to allow that current to continue to integrate and flow within your inner channels. And just tuning in this moment to any messages or symbols or sensations that might be informing you as we step into this next season. Offering thanks and gratitude to the Nitiru, to our guides for supporting us. And then slowly coming back into the space, taking your time. Ooh. Just opening it up for some shares here. I also forgot to anoint you all, but I'll do it now. I have this beautiful Hathor, Rose of Hathor oil from my dear friend Chelsea, who has a company called Ritual and Rose Aromatica. Incredible anointing oils. So I'm going to anoint you in your third eye, and your throat, and your heart, and your solar plexus, and your belly. And if anyone wants to share any reflections on what they experienced during that sound activation, feel free to unmute yourself or pop it in the chat. Katarina just wrote a message saying, to Jordan, love all that you said. I told all my friends at the beginning of this year that 2025 is a potent year, a bridge between the old world and the new world, and we are co-creating and have been dreaming of for so many years or lifetimes actually. 2025 is also a 9 year, lots of endings, and 2026 begins a whole new powerful beginning. Yes, yes, yes. I'm also on Instagram, so if I'm going over this way, it's because I'm just presencing the Instagram feed. Thank you for tuning in. Anyone want to share? Are we still in the field?
I'll share.
Ed, yeah, let's hear from you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you. It was definitely beautiful, and the tones were just lovely and so calming and put me very deep. Um, it was definitely like a felt thing. I wasn't in a visionary space, but I was like sort of just feeling resonant in my somatic field. And yeah, when your words started coming through, it just felt like I was really connecting it to the Thai language, like the language here in Thailand. It's so they call it like a sung language, and um, the women, for example, end everything in like ka. There's this like long drawn out like thing, and it just felt like it feels so different to me to be like immersed in this language with such strong masculine and feminine, and it just like felt like I was in the right place and really connected me to this sort of like feminine energy in the language, in the land. And that was really beautiful. So thank you.
Kapkun ka.
Yeah.
I love it. Ends
Exactly.
with a ka. That's great. It's like you're
Yeah.
activating your ka field. Ka is the soul. So amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and the king here is Rama, right? So I was like, oh, the Rama, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like all the land energies came up. It's really beautiful.
Absolutely, yeah. As I was tuning into what was channeling through, it was a lot of Heka Rama, and so Heka Rama is the Divine Union Code. Like tip, you can chant that to yourself every day. Heka Rama. So Heka means magic, but it's much more than magic, but is the Egyptian form of magic. And then Rama obviously is Ra is the sun god and masculine, and Ma is the great Ma.
Mhm.
So yeah. Anyone else want to share? Kat says, that was a powerful activation. My soul could not stop smiling, left with a beautiful image of a rising or setting sun over a river with rocks surrounded by mountains. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the sun's rising somewhere in the world. And even though we are coming in the North American hemisphere, or the Northern hemisphere rather, into longer nights and less sun, there is something around Horus really wanting to, and this sunflower right now, I'll show it again, bring you into your inner solar logos, like the true Christos Sophia energy of sacred solar union. Because, you know, really at the end of the day, we're sunlight beings. And there's some beautiful sacred geometry, hopefully you can see in this flower, just as a code in and of itself, that it's nature operates in this way, and her fractal beauty is just part of our operating system. So the more we can tap into that and really cherish what she has to offer and listen to her messages, so much can just start to come through. So hopefully that will also inform this next phase going forward. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share? Did you notice anything coming up around those woundings that we were clearing?
It won't let me type in the
Oh,
chat.
okay, let's hear it. Let's hear from you, Jordan.
But no, like I like she mentioned like it's a 9 year, and so there's been so many like aggressive endings this year. And like I said, being in this new bedroom, like you can't see it right now, but I painted my wall black. I painted all the trim black with red glitter in it. So just like this is such like a welcoming, like I said, it just aligns perfectly. This eclipse is right on my ascendant, and so it's just at like it's like what's the word for it? Like activating. I don't know why I'm getting the word baptism, but it's like I'm like baptizing this bedroom.
Christening. You're christening
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, with this ceremony. So I'm just like watching my wall glitter. Like I have my candle lit and it's making the red glitter in the wall like twinkle. And so I am just over here having a great time.
Amazing. That's perfect. Yeah, this is temple keeping, really. This is really what it is like putting new wallpaper up is a form of personal devotion. And yeah, this is also part of this Hathorian way. This path is really about just tending to your vessel, and trusting that by doing these purifications, and they don't have to be complicated. They can just be every time you take a shower, you intend to purify more than just your body. It can really start to dismantle some of these deeper pieces that are still causing the war templates to play out on the planet. So we're really going deep into what we can do on a personal level, and of course our relations, just being kind and you know, just living like, just walk like Jesus had it pretty pretty clear as to how just to be in a good relation with others, and treat everyone like your neighbor, and things start to work out, and be in service, like you said earlier, Jordan. And I think right now what we're really starting to tap into is our true power to set really strong intentions and boundaries around what it is that we're willing to take or not. And like there's kind of like a line in the sand being drawn that helps us practice real radical devotion to this path that we're walking, and live in full integrity and authenticity. And that authenticity is what actually creates the magnetism that attracts all the people that want to pay you or sleep with you, or you know, make babies with you, or make songs with, or you know, all of these aligned allies. They're coming in as a result of you becoming more you. So in that process of just stepping in and asking the questions, and kind of being curious about your own tendencies and your own triggers, and all the ways that we might still be subconsciously sending out a false signal, that can also really start to come back around as just pure data. It's just feedback, and the more this becomes less of a thing that means anything about you, the more the real you starts to emerge. And that's been my practice over the last little while, is to realize that a lot of what I'm experiencing is a collective experience. And I have my own unique timeline and storyline that is playing out, but I have to trust that I'm not the only one that's ascending on this planet that's going through these initiations. And in that way, there's a lot of relatability. And then I can start to look at, like, okay, what transition periods are people going to need the most help with? And that's where us light workers and the ones that are really doing, big work and helping work can step in and be threshold space holders. I actually created a whole term called thresholding because it's like that the transitions are really where we're going to need some guidance, and everyone's going through so much right now. So that's a little tip for you business people. It's like, if we can actually look at all the major transitions in anyone's life and pick one to really serve and make it very clear that that is the threshold that you are stewarding, then it can really support others in finding you and aligning to you, because you've probably gone through that initiation already, and they're just in the thick of it. So yeah, I want to share a couple more practices, and I also want to do another light activation, because for me, embodiment has been such a powerful part of this whole experience. And there's just some powerful things that you can do to come into inner unification on a daily basis that really are effective and super simple and take less than 5 seconds to do. So the first one is it's a Hathor Horus code, actually, and it was just coming through literally right before this during the other ceremony I was attending. And so we're merging solar plexus with throat chakra, right? So Horus is a golden light being, divine masculine warrior. So he's all about solar plexus, and Hathor, she's about expression. So she's all about the throat as well as the womb, which are mirrored to each other. But her throat chakra power to really liberate this area is very key, because before you can really light up the third eye and have energy running from earth all the way to sky, you really need to get through every level. And the throat chakra tends to be a bottleneck, literally bottleneck. The skinniest chakra with the most junk is the thing that really tends to create that blockage from that higher vision state, where you can really just sort of be in full flow and receptivity and allowing universal field information to come in and guide you and inform all of your next steps. So the two keys here are, there's a notch right underneath the breastbone, the sternum, and you can kind of feel where your ribs meet at the top there. This notch here, we press on it, that is triggering a bundle of nerves that actually connect the upper and the lower in the body. So we're going to push into that with both hands. You don't have to push too hard. Don't I remember when I was learning CPR, they're like, don't go too crazy or you're going to break the xiphoid process. But you're not going to break your own xiphoid process if you push too hard. But okay, so you're going to push into there. And the throat chakra divine union activation, the Hathor code, is to put your tongue to the roof of your mouth as far back as you can and press up into the soft palate. So, and some tongues don't get there, and that's okay. You can just go to wherever your tongue can press up into the top of the roof of the mouth. And then while we do that, we're going to just take a few deep breaths and begin to link those 2 points. I don't know, I'm pointing to my third eye, but my throat, it's kind of like, well, actually, when you connect to that point between your throat and your third eye, actually does activate both throat and third eye connection, as well as this notch here on the lower end is connecting the heart and the womb. So we're basically just doing 2 versions of inner union connection within the body. So we'll take a few deep breaths and just begin to press in and press up from the tongue, and then feel that your entire body is aligning and we're going to call in the Jed pillar, which is the spine of Osiris, to hold us in this erect position and to also align all of our levels, not just our internal chakras, but also our soul with our oversoul, with any higher levels of dimension that we are connected to as well. So from here, let's take a deep inhale, just relaxing a little bit. Then exhale to push in with your fingers and to press up with your tongue. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. There's a few more rounds here. Let's do 3 more breaths here. And then slowly relax the hands and just take a moment, relax the tongue, take a moment to notice and integrate any shifts. And slowly returning back into the space. Maybe giving yourself a little shake. Did anybody feel anything during that practice? Any reflections you'd like to share? If you got some tea, you can also take a little sip. Why am I so sweaty? Moving energy, moving energy. When I pressed up, I couldn't stop yawning. Okay, great. That's a sign that you're moving energy. Yeah. Yawning and burping are the 2 main ways of somatically clearing energy, as well as crying and screaming and other forms of expression. But I notice for me personally, I do yawn a lot and I burp a lot too when things are clearing. When spirit doesn't want me to be too what's the word? Rude. She'll have me burp. Yeah, there we go. We're clearing energy. Yeah. So that's the beautiful thing, is like we're just moving and transmuting. We don't have to understand exactly what we're clearing either. It's just, we're just the vessels. Feel some above crown energies move. Awesome. Great. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go back into the channel, burping on the first transmission. Nice. Great. And then Care on Instagram saying, grounding feeling in my entire face, down my spine to my feet, and lightness in my heart. Awesome. Okay, great. Yeah, so now that we're really in a primed field, okay, they're telling me to do a little smudge because we're going to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to do a creativity activation next, because this isn't just all about purification. What are we going to do with these pristine bodies? We gotta make some stuff, and make stuff that is truly going to serve. And I just love that we're living in this era where you can thrive off of digital products that have a very low footprint. And it's just exciting that you can duplicate yourself and make a bunch of money in perpetuity on automated systems. Like, what? And, you know, sometimes it's a bit of a a code to crack with all the tech, but at the end of the day, this is a gift. This is a gift that we have this new information economy and this way of reaching people globally. It's so incredible. And then now we have AI layered on top of that to do all of the grunt work and all the writing. And, shamelessly, it has been supporting me a lot during this launch phase. But that's also how we get to leverage our tools and also, know their place and know where their limits are, and where we can also, stay in our genius zone and not give up every single mental function to something outside of us. But for those of us that are wanting to, make things happen faster, it's an incredible time to leverage all the tools that are at our disposal and just be okay with being in that discomfort of learning something new. And, everything happens in that zone. So I want to go into the activation, and the activation is so as I was playing those bowls, I was tuning into the two colors. You got the yellow current and you got the blue current. And so the yellow being the Horus energy and the blue being the Hathor energy, we can merge these two currents within our body as well and really feel into what this creation code can do for you in bringing together sacred feminine, sacred masculine, next generation kind of vibes. And and if you are also on a conception journey or you're wanting to bring in baby soon, you can also use this intention to connect to your children on the other side of the veil, because your children up there, and this is also your projects, whatever it is you want to birth into the world, your children up there already have the map. Like, they've got that high level vantage point, so they can inform you and start dropping intel. And you're in that relay with them where you can actually really start to trust in their guidance. And this is really the work that I'm so excited to do in the program, in the quantum conception program, is to really help people be in that highest connection and resonance with their guides and their ancestral guides, which are their descendants. Actually, ancestors and descendants are the same thing. They really have the same, because they're living as potential up there. They're not young, they're not old, they're not past, they're not future. They really are just like infinite, everything ready to drop into a density. And by experiencing higher frequency down here through activations like this, you will start to meet them faster. They're going to feel safer to come in because your vessel is a true temple in that way, and Earth doesn't feel as ghetto for them. So I'm going to go into another channeling. And so the invitation in this moment is to really tune into what it is that you're here to create. What is it that really wants to be birthed through you? And maybe it's already in process. Maybe you've already started, but it hasn't come earthside yet. There's still a few steps in the sequence that need to be tended to. But really asking for that support, asking for the map, asking for the resources and everything that you need in order to bring this through, and to trust that you will receive it, because Hathor is all about receptivity and her womb is infinitely large. and you can really allow that nurturing energy to be what actually takes you there. It's like a river. Like, we're really just stepping into a current, an egregore as it's called, where we as energetic beings are all just supporting each other, placing our piece on the altar, and then all of a sudden everything just gets lifted up and everything just starts flowing, and then your only job is just to notice the magic. So tuning into what that is, and if you want to just share it in the chat and just state it so that everyone can support you in amplifying that prayer, let's do that. And I'll just ring the sistrum again. And if you you feel like standing and moving in that way, because for me, movement is prayer, you can also sort of dance this one through. I'm going to stand as I play. And let's tune into this next level, this next stage of the process. So taking a few deep breaths, calling in Horus and Hathor to merge the yellow and the blue currents, the sacred masculine and feminine energies that form green, that form the love frequency, the frequency of life at the heart. What is it that you are here to birth at this time, in this next season? What is already gestating? What seeds are ready to be sprouted? Encouraging you to sing if you feel called to share your voice and amplify your prayer through sound. Please do. Hetura hara hekarama hetura harama harama hara Hekara Sahura Haramahara Hetura Heka Hara Sahura Hetura Hetura Heturet maat heturet ka ranaturet netere kiarasa heturet netere kiaraka heturet kiarasa hura heturet maat heturet neteret maat haturet ka hekarasa hure kiarasa hura hetura 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 Hekaramaat hetura 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 hekarasahura hetura. Feel your creation land into your vessel. Feel it receiving all the nourishment it needs to come earthside. Feel this orgasmic energy of pure ecstasy, pure radiance coming through you. True love grounding into your field now. Prosperity and abundance grounding into your field now. Hura heturet kiara sahura heturet maat hetura 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 hura maira Hetura heka, hetura heka, haranatura, hetura hekara, sahura mahara. Whew. So taking a few deep breaths to return back into the space, tuning into the body and anything that might have been coming through for you. And we have a bit of time for some shares. Would anybody like to reflect on that experience? Hopefully Hathor has opened us some throat chakras. Priya says, I'm so close to finishing my PhD while navigating divorce. My PhD manuscript will be my creation and gift to myself. Thank you for this wonderful space. Awesome! Congratulations. What a beautiful thing to bring through while you're going through deep transition. Yeah. Don't be shy. Is Kelsey trying to unmute? Okay, here you go. There
There
we
we
go.
go. Is that
Yeah.
unmuted? Yeah.
Yep, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, both of those transmissions were very, very powerful. I'm sweaty palms right now, and I felt a lot of kind of energy or adjustments and tension in my upper back, and it still can feel it there. There's like, I don't know, I think a lot of stuff to let go of in there. Yeah, holding on to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm feeling a big release. I'm getting hot right now, just talking about it.
Good.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very welcome. It's beautiful. Yeah, when it lands in the somatic body, you kind of know you're at that final stage of clearing. Like things are at, you feel it. Like you should have seen me before this ceremony. I was burping nonstop. But that's what my teacher ceremonies does for me. I'm like, oh, I'm just like belching. But
Right.
that's also part of, we're doing some deep clearing. So, yeah.
And can I just share? I don't know if the light is not very good, but I
Uh-huh.
just happen to have these yellow and blue chakra posters right in front of me,
Yeah, let's
and
see.
just
Yeah.
happen to be the colors. So there's a
Ah.
blue and then the yellow colors
Mm.
like this.
Beautiful.
And
And
then the womb, the root chakra was right above it, and it was kind of reflecting right what you were talking about, and that wasn't planned. Those were just there on my wall. So yeah,
there we go. That's a sign. It's all
right.
flowing. Yeah.
All
Amazing.
right.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I'll share. I when you invited to like make noise, I started just like feeling like a hum, just like a kind of sound that was very like vibrating in my heart. And then it sounded like it started making like clear words were coming through, but it felt like very distant. That was like kind of getting closer. And I just like sort of heard this repeated like your soul, your soul, your soul, art forms, art forms, art forms. It was really interesting to have that like channeled sort of energy move through, and it felt like very much like my heart speaking to me. Like the vibration was just so like warm and comforting. It was really beautiful. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ed. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a journey of like unlocking your own light codes and how you start to encode yourself and shape yourself through sound and trust in all the messages when you're in channel and yeah, and just play in that realm because it's a journey. Vocal liberation is a deep one and I'm all about it. It's like if we can become because I wasn't able to do this like 5 years ago. It just happened, and I just kept nurturing it and it changed. It didn't start out this way. I kind of clicked onto this radio station and now it's like pure Egyptian light language or the language of the Neteru. But everyone has their own version of that. And yeah, and it's just so powerful. And it can also just come through in regular speech too. English can be powerful too. Awesome.
Uh,
Steven, let's
when
hear
you
from you.
started, it was kind of weird because my head started going into figure eight, just repeating the figure eight.
Hmm.
And I remember something from Deepak Chopra. He says on the inhale, go so, and then the exhale, hum. I just started doing that like 8 years ago.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm doing this figure eight, and it felt really good and relaxing.
Great. Yeah, yeah. Your body is informing you and that's the beautiful thing about somatic exploration is that sometimes you're just like, "Oh, I haven't just given it the chance to show me what I need to do." And I love being in spaces where you're just being moved and being danced and yeah, that's why I love somatic to me that's just like the fastest pathway to actualization or enlightenment is just really like it's through the body and it's through the descent and connecting with the earth and that's the missing feminine wisdom that we don't have to check out from our minds in order to achieve that state. It can really be in this place. So oh, Kara, you're also sharing a lot. I won't read all of it, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Actually, I will read it. I keep forgetting about the Instagram feed. So, Kara says, so much reassurance to what I already know is coming through. It's meant to be. It's meant to be to create and birth both the decks and children's books at the same time, especially the Pussy deck and Animal Tales. Oh, nice. I love it. Working on some children's books, writing and illustrating, all inspired by Beanie and her BFF Monty, which are her dogs, and some cats too. It's been a few months since receiving some light language healing from you, and this summer has been a deep journey of deeper connection to all my grandparents, and they came in tonight. Oh, amazing! That's so great to hear, and yeah, like this is ancestral weaving, this is past life weaving. We're just like reconnecting on such a deep level. So yay, everybody, give yourselves pats on the back for, and some extra love. Make out with your arm, whatever you need to do to give yourself love for showing up. And before we close it out tonight, I just want to share that I have a new program happening it starts in a week and a half on October 1st called Quantum Conception. And this is primarily a fertility program for women who actually want to get pregnant. But I'm realizing as I'm creating it, it's actually for anyone who wants to create anything at a high level because we are working with Hathor specifically as our guide. And she is very special. She just has these codes, and there's codes coming through me every day, womb activation codes, and ways to work with these higher universal forces that are just so tapped in and they're just so ready to be in our energy field. They actually have a word for it that I learned called theurgic necessity. It's like the gods are bored up there and they need human beings to become vessels for their energies to move through so they can do the work they're meant to do. And so it's going to be a very unique program, and I trust that it will also help women get pregnant, because this is also just wow, the fertility work with Hathor is on a whole nother level. But I trust that also if it's for a different reason, if there's actual projects and creations coming through, what I'm also transferring is what I'm living, really, because I'm in full creation mode. I've never been so able to execute on millions of tasks and do it in a very fun way. And I feel that is Hathor's energy and my spirit baby's energy. And we'll go deep into spirit baby work and look at why it is that maybe certain babies haven't come in yet, because there's certain traumas that need to be healed, and that doing that work is really going to serve you for a lifetime, because it's just what we're called to do, really. That's the real work. And it can be kind of fun to uncover some of these patterns and go, oh, that's why I have that tendency, or that's why I can't finish things, or that's why it's always been so scary to create. Maybe, like, one example is like the death of or the fear of dying in childbirth is a real one. And so that imprint can linger in our field. And so we work with these quantum technologies to really dismantle it at the deepest root level, somatically, through different techniques, so that we can, yeah, just clear it out for once and for all, and really have a fresh slate to work off of, and then do the good work and be really fully aligned to our highest selves and highest purpose. So I'm going to send out an email after this, and I'm actually offering a 50% off the entire 12-week program. There is also an affiliate program or a referral program. If you know anybody who wants to get pregnant and is struggling, please do send them over, and I can send you the information. But yeah, I'm really excited to bring this cohort in, and it's going to be just a real magical temple space where we can actually feel safe to feel everything that comes up through this process. Because as we know, with birth or any part of this process, there's going to be contractions. There's going to be moments where we're just doubting ourselves, or we don't think we can do it. But I really want to have Hathor as a midwife and a doula to support you through those contractions, so that you really can emerge even stronger, with more skill sets, more self-belief, and more ability to really just own your truth and your power, and to know that your voice matters, and that everything that you're here to share is a real gift, and inspiring others and making big impact is just part of daily life. And I really feel that happening for all of you, and for those of you who are really stepping into that. It's like, this is the season. This is really the time to get clear and to be really, yeah, and just full integrity with yourself, and set some strong boundaries. Maybe we don't have to go to all the events. I'm glad you're at this one, but sometimes you got to stay home and learn how to do that digital thing, and fall weather is great for that. So let's close it out with let's just rub our hands together here and just take a moment to build that heat, and to allow everything that we cultivated here tonight, all the peace on earth that we are seeding into the field, to just begin to ripple and build through our breath. And I'm actually going to bring this to the view where I get to see everybody. Okay, and now we're going to send this energy to everybody here and everybody on the replay, and all our families and beloveds and future babes, and whoever is supposed to come into our world to support us and love up on us. Just feel that being given, and receive it through your hands and your heart, two ways here. Really fully trusting in these divine technologies and their magic and what they can do. Trusting in yourself and God and Goddess. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our guides and guardians for supporting us here tonight for this beautiful ceremony, for guiding us together. And may all that has been cultivated and shared here be beneficial for the collective. May it ripple out, and may all of our blessings be amplified and returned back to us in the most efficient, most beautiful, and serendipitous way. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are complete. Ankh-Naturu, Ankh-Naturu, Ankh-Naturu. If you want to go off mute and say goodbye, feel free, and have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your
Thank you. This was
heart.
great.
Yeah. I plan on doing more of these. It's definitely something I'm being nudged to do is more of these public ceremonies. So really excited to share and have a wonderful night, everybody. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Beautiful ceremony. Thank you.
Good night.
Night. Happy Equinox
Happy eclipse.
and eclipse too.